Welcome to, I guess, episode 1 of Tank Wars. I did an earlier video where I took a level 1 SK, twinked it out, and tanked Phinny with it. Problem with that fight was that I was having a really hard time controlling aggro, as the only thing I really had was taunt and an aggro proc off of Twisted Longsword of Pain. So after doing some research, I only had a few options for aggro. I could get a Warrior to level 13 with Dual Wield, and then have 2 weapons that could proc, or I could level a Shadow Knight to level 11 and use Clinging Darkness spam. Or the third option, which is what I went with for now, is I got a Paladin to level 2, and I'm using the old Flash of Light trick. Level 2, they get the spell Flash of Light, so I'm just pretty much spamming that for aggro. And as you can see in this video versus Lady Box, it does appear to have worked. It is causing more aggro than the heals. Now this fight was not pretty because I brought all my characters as usual while I'm traveling around, and I set them off to the side, but for some reason the area effect fear kept hitting pretty much everybody, even though it's got a 150 resist check. And then of course Lady Box has a dispel, which really throws off trying to tank with buffs. So then my level 2 Paladin's just getting dispelled like crazy, feared. I got characters running all over the place, not to mention that I didn't take into consideration the aggro radius when I started the fight. So I got swarmed outside of the actual cavern where Lady Box is by a bunch of mobs. I used the Warrior to finish off the ads, and then I tried to get Lady Box under control. By the time I even got to tanky Lady Box, she'd already taken like 10% damage from damage shields just while hitting on the cleric while I'm trying to get everything under control. Finally got Lady Box out into the cavern. The Paladin tanking. Looks like she held aggro the whole fight, pretty much the entire time. All of the damage done to Lady Box was from pretty much damage shields. And whatever damage the Paladin was doing while hitting, I think in the future when I start to move and try this in the Runes of Kunark type raid bosses, I'm actually going to set up maybe the Bard to just go ahead and auto attack. And then it will resemble more of like a realistic type of fight if you're down there actually fighting with a raid or a group or whatever, and not just some low level twink that's trying to damage shield kill these raid bosses, because that's going to take forever. So as I start going to the Runes of Kunark, I think some of the bosses will, besides hitting a lot harder, they're going to have over 100,000 hit points. And I don't think I could fast forward the video enough to make that even like short. That's going to be a very long fight when you have, 50-point damage shield. And the whole point of these videos in the first place is just to see if a level 2 with Twink gear can actually tank and be healed through these fights. This one looks like a success. Level 2 Paladin was able to tank Lady Box with Twink gear. I still don't have the best Twink gear. I'm still chasing some Gitrium stuff. I'm still working on that. I'm probably going to take 2 groups to Vexthal and just see if I can get some random loot drops, some of Saru's drops off the random loot there. Otherwise I'll have to kill Saru or just bite the bullet and try to purchase some of the items off the bazaar. Each piece is like 150 to 300k, which if you're not playing on Mischief currently, a chrono is about 350k right now to 400k, so you'd be spending a good chunk of change just to twink the alt. But maybe if this becomes a popular thing, I can actually make it through some of the Kunark mobs. Maybe that's the route that I'll have to go anyway. So for heals, it's just the cleric mainly. I did use the druid and shaman for a couple quick heals. Well, the cleric was feared. I don't know if that was necessary or not. So hopefully the next video I make is a lot more clean and actually can set up like a real pull. Might have to actually pull with the Bard so I can get all these ads and all this random like long range aggro. Set up a real fight. I think the next target I'm going to look at might be like Veneral Sathir, but we'll see.